Welcome back, everybody. My name is Dave Hayes, and this is Hayes Tech. This is the channel where we talk about pretty much anything tech. I wanted to do this video because I was asked by one of you in the comments section on editing. Now, I already did a video on editing with the video editor called Shotcut, and I still highly recommend that video editor. But I'm going to show you all a new video editor, and this is the one that I use probably 90% of the time. And that editor is called VideoPad Video Editor. So when we come back, we're going to go ahead and go over VideoPad Video Editor, the new video editor that I use to edit all my videos. Man, that was a lot of edits. So don't go away, we'll be right back. And as always, if you liked my video, don't forget to hit that like button and share my videos. It really helps me out. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you saw, think about subscribing. And if you subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell icon. That way you get a notification of my videos as soon as I release them. But before we jump into the video, I just wanted to say hi to Tony Hong. Tony Hong has a fishing channel. And he has about the same amount of subscribers as I do, maybe a little bit more. And if you guys are really into fishing, I highly recommend you check out Tony Hong's fishing channel. And I'm actually going to put a link to his channel in the video description. That way, if you guys want to watch some really good, high-quality fishing videos, I would recommend that you check his channel out. If you are okay, I had to add this in. This video is going to be a long video, so if you do not like long videos, I suggest not watching it. And the reason it's going to be long is because I'm going to be very thorough about VideoPad Professional. I'm going to show as many options and things that you can do with this as possible. Plus, try to show you how to edit a video and get it ready to upload to YouTube. Now, I'm not going to go through every single step on editing, and getting it ready to upload, but I'm going to show you how you edit a video, basically from start to finish. And now remember, I have another video out on YouTube on how to edit videos for YouTube. So I'm not going to go that far into it, but I really want to show how this VideoPad Professional really works and try to show you as many things about it as I possibly can. So grab yourself a beer or whatever beverage you like, get yourself some snacks, sit back, because this is gonna take a little time. So what do you say we go ahead and get started? And there's a reason why I switched to Video Editor Pro, and that's because the features on it are a lot easier, I think, to use than what was in Shotcut. And I just think it has a lot more editing resources available to you, much quicker and much simpler. So right now I want these two files, these two video files in here, and I have one audio source, which is right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one video file and I'm going to drag it and drop it down here. Notice you can see the video file and you can see the audio. I'm going to grab the other one, I'm going to drag it down on top of that, right like that. Then I'm going to go to audio file, I'm going to grab that and drag it to the bottom location right here and drop that in, just like that. Now what we're going to do is we are going to look for that point in the video where I clapped 3 times, and you're going to see 3 big spikes in my audio. That's going to allow me to line everything up so both video is lined up perfectly and the one audio source is all lined up. Now I'm just going to roll my key, my scroll mouse key forward. Now right now I can start seeing those 3 spikes right like that. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Now I'm going to grab this audio and I'm going to click on it and drag it over. Whoops. And just kind of line it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. And then just let go of it. And I'm going to grab this other video, click on it. I'm going to drag it over so it's close, because we're going to try to do this. We're going to make this way better. So get it close, let go. So now I have my video files stacked on top of each other along with my audio. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to grab this timeline, and I'm going to put it on the very last clap, which is right there. Now I'm going to make this as big as I possibly can. And I'm going to drag the line, the timeline, over to right about like that. I'm going to make it even bigger. Now I'm going to drag my timeline over a little bit because I want to line everything up. Now notice I have just a little sticking out the front, most of it off the back. Now if you try to make this everything perfect up front and then line it all up, it's hard to do. So what I do is I make it look like about that. And again, as long as you get it lined up fairly close, it's all going to look good. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this bottom file because that's my audio, and I'm going to click on it, drag it over, line it up on that red line about the same way, right there. Let go. And notice how it kicked everything back. That's because the audio file is the longest file. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up again, right there. And I'm going to grab this center file, click on it, drag it over, line it up, just like that. Now I'm going to expand this a little bit more, and I just want to take a look at it just to double check everything. Okay, now here is where I would actually put my headphones on and play this to listen to it, to make sure it sounds good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and play it and see if the audio and everything lines up with the audio on the screen. Yeah, that looks great. So that looked very good. So I'm going to go ahead and cut what I don't need and get rid of it right now. What I'm going to do is right about where it's at, I'm going to go ahead and click on cut, and I'm going to get rid of all this. So I just click on it and then right click, delete ripple, highlight. Okay, go back to the one I highlighted, right click, delete ripple. I'm going to scroll down to that last one, which is my audio. I'm going to left click on it to highlight it. Then I'm going to right click and delete ripple. And when I click on that delete ripple and it deletes, it's going to pull every one of those files all the way over to the start position again. We're going to delete ripple, and notice everything jumped over to the beginning. Now, since the only audio source I want to keep is this one here in the bottom, which is from my Rode video mic, I want to delete the other two audios out of there right now. But before I delete them, I want to unlock the audio from the video by clicking on this link right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click that to unlock it. Scroll up to the other one. Click and unlock this one. Now I can delete this audio without deleting the video with it. So I'm going to right click, and this time I'm just going to click delete, and the next one down I'm going to highlight it, right click, delete. Now what I want to do is I want to pull that other audio file up so it is just so I can see it. So I'm going to grab it, click on it, grab it, pull it up, let go. I'm going to come up one more. So I'm going to click on it again, grab it, pull straight up with it, like that. Now that I have the two audio sources out of there, the ones that I'm not going to use, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out where the video actually starts, and then I am going to go ahead and make a cut. So let me go ahead and hit play. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and start right there, and I'm going to give it a little bit of room. I'm going to cut it, and we are going to go ahead and delete. Remember, delete ripple. Now notice how those other two audio sources just disappeared now, and that's what happens when you get rid of the other audio sources. you have to actually make a cut. And when you do make a cut, those two unused audio sources will just disappear. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. Delete ripple. And delete ripple. Now, when editing videos, what I want to do is I want to look at the cameras. Now notice I'm not looking at the camera on this one. Now if I hide this one, I am looking at the camera on this view. So what I'll do is, to get through this really quick and combine these two camera shots together, what I'll do is I will quickly just kind of scroll up through here and look for when I switch my view. See right there, I switched over to the other view. I'm looking at this camera. I switched over to the other camera here. So right between there is space. Right here, see this big space? Right here where there's no audio. So I'm just going to put my line in here somewhere. And again, this is just the first edit. This is a very rough edit. I'm going to cut it there. And I want to get rid of this top one here. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on there and click delete. Now don't click delete ripple, just click delete. And so what I'll do is turn that. Notice if you want to hide the video on the upper row, you just click on that little eyeball there. It will hide it. But I'm going to leave it on, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. All I'm doing is using my scroll wheel on my mouse and scrolling it so it's smaller. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this and drag it slowly until I change positions again. And once I change positions to the other camera like that, I will make this a little bit bigger, find out exactly where I transitioned, which is right there. So I will cut it again. And this time we're going to get rid of this one. So I'm going to go ahead and delete. And I'm actually going to grab that and pull it down here right now. Okay? Because basically what I'm doing, I'm taking two videos and splicing them together. Now if I would have shot, say, with 3 cameras, then I would have had stack all 3 videos on top of each other, just like I did with these 2, and do the same thing. And whichever video I'm looking at the camera, that's the one I would keep. Now, of course, you can change that around a little bit, you know, to get a little artsy with it if you want. But that's entirely up to you. I'm just showing you how to use VideoPad Video Editor. This is the professional version, which I highly recommend, so that you can do your own editing. Editing is an art. Believe me, it is an art. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get back to this again, and I'm just going to keep doing this again. And when I look back at the the camera on the top, I will stop it again. Scroll down here. This is a really big video. Now I'm not going to show you all this, guys. I'm just going to show you the basics in editing. Now notice I switched my view again, so I'm going to call this a break right here. So I'm going to cut it again. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the one I don't want, which is the top one. And I'll just do this throughout the whole video. Let me see where I'm at here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and again, I'm just trying to get through this and get rid of the camera angles I don't want right now, and basically make one video out of these 2. And I'm not going to show you every one of these cuts I make. Now notice I switched cameras again. So right here, notice there's a big gap in my audio, so I'm just going to go ahead and click there on that little scissors, split that track. And this time I'm going to delete this one, and I'm going to click and drag that down. Now, again, I'm not going to show you me cutting all this out. What I'm trying to do right now is take the 2 videos that I created and the audio and turn it into one video. Okay? When I get this done, then I'll bring you back and I'll show you what I do with it from there. Alright, well, I'm right at the very end of editing the video now. I'm just going to chop off the very end now, so we're going to go ahead and head back to here and let you guys see where I'm at. So if we go, I'm going to back it up a little bit and you'll see. And see, that's where I would cut it at. So I would pull it back here, and you can see I already cut it there. You just hit that little scissors form. And then what I would do is click on this, right click, and then delete ripple. Same thing for the audio. We're going to go ahead and get rid of what we don't need now. Delete ripple. And now this is going to be my first edit that I'm done with, and I'm ready to let it do its thing. So I'm just going to scroll back and let you guys see. This is the finished editing. So I didn't cut anything out of it, like anything I didn't want. All I did in the first edit was put the 2 or however many shots or camera angles you had, put those together. That's what I did with the first edit. That, and again, I lined up the audio, my external audio, I lined all that up and just kind of combined everything for the first step. And this would be my file. You'll see I'm going to call it edit 1. So now that I've got this all chopped up and gotten rid of the camera angles that I don't want and kept the camera angles that I do want, I'm going to go up here to export video file. I'm going to click on that and click on video file. But this is where you could export it in all different all different kind of formats. YouTube, if you wanted to upload it directly to YouTube, this app gives you that ability. I don't like doing that. I like to have control of my uploads and all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to video file, and then I'm going to name it. I'm going to title this 2 full videos, and I'm going to call it first edit. And I'm going to make sure it's in 1080p, which it is. Sometimes you can use the auto match. Say I shot it in 4K, but I don't actually want to render this in 4K. I want it to be in 1080p. Well, right here's where you would click, and you would pick what you want to do. I'm going to leave it in 1080p, and I don't want to let it auto match. I'm going to choose. So I'm going to choose 1080p right there, and I'm going to leave it at 60 frames per second because I might want to do some slow motion later on, and you can actually make slow motion out of 60 frames per second. Now, you can't go down too slow or it's going to get all choppy looking, but you can at least slow that down a little bit. So we're going to leave it at 60 frames per second. It's going to be a big video, 3.09 gigabytes long, and I'm going to go ahead and click create. And when that video is done cooking, is what I like to call it, we'll be back. Okay, so I hope you got a little bit out of that. That is basically editing in a nutshell. Now I'm going to bring you back once this renders, and we're just going to go through it, and I'm going to start cutting out what I don't want. Then I will bring that entire video back into my video editing program again, which is VideoPad. I keep forgetting that. VideoPad Pro, and I'll start getting out anytime I might say or as long as I don't do it too much. I leave it in there. I don't care what people say, but I'm also going to clean out any big pauses I might have had, or anything like maybe the dog might have barked. I'm going to cut all that out, put it all together, and then I will render that. Then I will bring that back in again, and I will probably edit it for time. Maybe get rid of some stuff I don't want. I could also do that in the second edit as well. As long as the video is not too big, I might be able to do that all in one. Okay, so then when I'm done with that, I'll render that, and then I will bring that rendered video back into VideoPad editor again, and that's when I will add any B-roll to that. And I showed you in my videos how to make B-roll, and yeah, I suggest watching that video. It's really easy. I mean, you basically take a camera and you pan on what you're looking at. You could do slow motion, whatever, and then you add that into wherever you want in the video to make it look good. That's also the point of the video where I will put music into the video. And then once that's all done, I'll export that as my finished product. And before I upload that to YouTube or anything, I will be definitely watching it and listening to it. And if I note anything, I will take notes at the time that I saw it at. And, you know, I may have to go back in for one more edit, you know. But a lot of times, I'm pretty good about editing and I don't need to do that. But there are times when you do have to do that. So we'll be back when this gets done rendering and I'll show you my second edit. Well, if you've stuck with this video for this long, I give you guys credit. Thank you. I realized as I was making this video, there was just no way for me to make it into a 20-minute video or shorter. I tried to fit this video into 30 minutes, and there's just no way for me to do it. So this video is going to go long. There's nothing I can do about it. But for those of you that follow my channel, you know I do not skimp on anything. If there's something that needs to be said or showed, I will do that, and that's one of the reasons my videos go long. Now, I was going to just go ahead and tie this video up and send it out, but there's some other things, like the built-in auto zoom features, all the audio options that you have, and adding in voiceovers that's built into this, and I've at least got to show those features, so that's what we're going to do right now. And I promise you, as soon as I'm done with this, we're going to go ahead and button this thing up. We're going to go ahead and bring up VideoPad again. Okay, so I'm just grabbing any old video again because I just want to get something that I can put on here to show you how to use the edit features of this program. So again, we're just going to use the 3 Canon 18 to 35mm video that I shot for a video that's upcoming. We're just going to use that, so I'm going to click on it, drag it down into the timeline. Now remember, this area right here is for all of the things that you add to your video that you want to add into it. All your video files will go here, all of your audio files will go here, and then all of your image files will go here, like pictures and things like that. Okay? Okay, now the one thing I wanted to show you on this was this has a built-in auto zoom feature. So just to give you an example, if we play this clip right now. Welcome back, everybody. This is Hayes Tech. My name is Dave Hayes. This is the channel where we talk about pretty much any kind of tech. But what I can do is make it look like I was pulling a zoom on this video while I was shooting it, even though I'm a one-man show here and I don't have somebody running the camera. So I'm going to show you how you do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out where we actually transition to, which is right here. See where we switch camera angles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Again, I just used the scroll wheel on the mouse, and I'm going to again find right where that transitions. Right there is where it transitions. So I'm going to put a cut right here. Okay, so we're going to cut that. Now what I'm going to do to this is click on it to highlight it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to Video Effects, and I'm going to go to Pan and Zoom. Now once you're in Pan and Zoom, you could actually set your start point and your finish point. But I want my start point to be the entire clip. Okay, so I'm not going to touch Select Start Frame. I'm going to go to Select End Frame. But you can actually adjust both of these if you want. So I'm going to go ahead and skip to Select End Frame. And it already gives me a 16:9 area where it's suggesting that I stop. But I don't want to stop there. I'm going to just grab it and pull it out. And I'll pull the bottom out just a little bit. like that. And that is what I want it to do. So it's going to go from the full frame to this. So if I pull this down to the beginning, as I play this, it's going to crop in on that. So let's go ahead and hit play.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Hayes.
Notice how it's zooming in. So it's already cropped in quite a bit. So you guys get it. That is one way that you can add a special feature to your video editing that makes your videos look just a little bit more professional than somebody just starting out. Now, another thing I wanted to show you was adding in a voiceover. Okay, so let's say I want to explain my new opener. Okay, so let me go down to right when it starts. I'm going to click the cut button because I only want this voiceover to go over a certain amount. So wherever you want that voiceover to be at, I'm going to cut it again. I'm going to click on that to highlight it, and then I'm going to click on that add narration, and we're going to record the narration. Okay, so I'm going to click record now. Make sure you have a microphone plugged into your PC. And then you want to click on the record button. Hey everybody, I just wanted you to check out my new animation. I kind of stretched it out a little bit. Hope you like it. And hit stop. That will save. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Now notice underneath it added in an extra file right here. Notice it's up here too. So if I go back here and I play it, you'll hear my voiceover.
Hey everybody, I just wanted you to check out my new animation. I kind of stretched it out a little bit. Hope you like it.
So again, that's another feature I wanted to show you. I could go on, and this video would just be forever. I could make a couple hour video on this. In here, you just have so many things you can do. You can flip your video. You can crop in if you want. You can create a mirror image. You can rotate your image, motion blur. Of course, your pan zoom. I showed you that. I don't use the place in 360. Position, rotate, flip, rotate and flip, scale. So a lot of these I don't use. The ones I use most are zoom and then pan and zoom. Okay, these down here are your color corrections. I use the exposure setting a lot, and sometimes I'll use auto levels, but if you guys want to, you can use your color curves, color remap. All of these you can mess with. It's definitely not DaVinci Resolve, but so it's not a bad editing software, and for under $50 for a lifetime purchase, I think that's pretty good. So I just wanted to show you those two things. Like I said, I could go on forever. This would be a 2-hour video, and I don't want to go on that long. So let's go ahead and get back to the video. Alright, we're back, and this is another day. Now, I tried to wear the same shirt so the video would all match up, but it's another day. So now what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to add B-roll now. And I want to show you all the features and all the transitions and stuff that you can get through VideoPad Video Editor Professional. So I've already got my screen record started. We're going to go ahead and open up VideoPad. Now I've got a video in here already. First, what I want to do is I want to show you how to do transitions. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play this a little bit.
I do it in edit like this. Now it usually takes me, depending on how long the video.
Okay, now you heard in there I said Now I want to get rid of that. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll my mouse wheel to expand this so I can find that one little word
Now the way I edit is I do it in edit like this. Now it usually takes me,
Right there, so I can see that little jump, right? That little bubble, that's the word I want to get rid of that. So I'm just going to highlight it on each side, hit the scissors for cut, move it to the other side of that. I don't want to cut a lot out, just that word I'm going to scroll my wheel to expand a little bit. I'm going to left click, then right click. I left click to highlight it, so whatever's white or highlighted, that's what's going to take effect whenever I hit the delete, or now in this case I want to hit delete ripple. So now when I play this back, that will not be in there.
This usually takes me, depending on how long the video is, and again,
see,
guys,
okay.
Because again, they were
see, that was actually a perfect transition. So
again.
So now what I want to do is I want to try to find a place in here where I can show you guys how to put a transition in. So wherever you split two videos, you can put them together. I used to use transitions a lot. Now I very rarely use any transitions at all. I've kind of gotten over that stage. But there are going to be times where you're going to want to use a transition. So I'm going to try to find a place in this video where I can cut it and then show you guys how to use the built-in transition features of this video editing software. Okay, now you noticed I grabbed my tongue and was pulling something off that. I want to get rid of that. Right there, see me reaching for my tongue, and if you notice in the timeline, there is no words being said here, okay? So good way, I could either just cut that out, or I can split it right here, and let's add a transition in there. So to add a transition, all you do is click on this little X here. That's going to bring up a box of transitions. And they have plenty of transitions to choose from simple to outrageous. Now I'm going to go with something a little more outrageous. Now this is the one I use most often. It's just a simple crossfade. And that's the one most people use professionally because it just blends the two videos together. But I want to get rid of that me picking, a piece of hair off my tongue, which was my mustache in the way. So I actually want a pretty good transition. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom to my favorite big animations, and I'm going to put a flip in there. So I'm going to click flip. Now the transition is in there. I'm going to show you what that looks like now.
Putting all the camera shots together in one.
So it's still there,
video.
but for the most part, it's very unnoticeable. Now, I could actually put a very simple transition here, and this is the one I use most often. This is the one I use most often, is just a crossfade. And what that does is it just blends the two, videos together, and I'll show you.
Video session. After that renders.
Now, if the way that looked, that was perfect. It just blended it together. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to X out of this. I'm not even going to save it because I've already edited this to the way I want it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you how to make B-roll. So basically, I'm going to open up VideoPad again, and basically B-roll can be anything from short clips to really anything that you might want to throw in your video to maybe distract people from just like a talking head. Like me spending a 20-minute video of me just talking is not a very good video, and people are not going to want to watch it. Now, if you're just listening to it, yeah, I can imagine people will definitely just listen to it, like if they're at work with headphones on, in that scenario. But if they're watching it on YouTube at home on their television, they don't just want to stare at me giving a lecture. So what I would do is while I'm talking, I would throw in something interesting pertaining to the video to detract from just staring at my ugly mug. Okay, I'm just going to pull out something really easy. We're going to pick out the Sinking High School video I did. I'm going to grab that video, pull it over. So I'm going to pull in this video, Sinking High School in Central Pennsylvania. It's a 4K video. That's okay. 4K video doesn't matter. B-roll. So this is going to be the main video right here, and I'm going to go back, and again, this B-roll that I'm going to put in this doesn't pertain to this video, okay? I'm just showing you guys how to add B-roll. So again, B-roll can be anything really, and I already have a file here called B-roll under my first edits right here, and this B-roll is actually for a lens video that I'm going to do showing all the different lenses, but I'm going to go ahead and pull these in, and I've already edited them, shortened them down, so I'm going to show you what it looks like. We'll play it real quick. It's just that would be a type of B-roll. So I'm just going to grab all of these, and all I did was just left click and drag over everything, then click on one, hold it, and drag it over, and that will pull all 13 files into my video files area, where you actually add all your video files. And remember, anything you add to this, whether it's video files, audio files like music, which I'm going to show you how we're going to add, we'll throw that in this too. Everything goes in this little window right here. It's either under video files or audio files or images. Images would be any kind of picture that you add to it, and we could do that too. I might find some pictures and add to it. Again, the B-roll can be pretty much anywhere you want to put it. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and hit play and see where we're at. Okay, say I wanted to put a B-roll shot right here. Now, the way I would do that is you would go up to your B-roll videos that you dropped in, and let's just say I want to use this one here. You just grab it, drag it, and drop it in. Okay? Now, I don't want the audio playing. If you do want the audio playing, leave it in. But in this case, I want to be able to hear everything that's going on in the video. So I want to get rid of the audio. So we're going to hit the unlock audio from video. Then I'm going to right click, delete. That just deletes the audio because I unlocked the audio from the video. With this little video, whatever video is on top is the video you're going to see, and that's the video you'll see when the video is finally rendered. So we will see the normal video right here playing, and then when it gets to here, it will jump to this. So what we're seeing in this screen is what the video is going to look like when it plays. So I will scrub over and show you, and then it will go right to the B-roll. Now, when I put B-roll in, if you notice in this box, there are some little buttons you can click on. These are transition windows. The first one is just a simple transition, but that's the number I have it set to. I'm going to click set. Then I'm going to click on this window here and set a exiting transition, and I'm just going to do a simple crossfade right here. Now notice it's building that video, okay? I would wait until that's done before you try to look at it and see if it worked out. So now we're going to go ahead and play it and let you see what it looks like. So, I mean, it's that simple to add B-roll. And again, B-roll can be anything. B-roll can be just video of the product you're talking about. B-roll could be shots of the area that you're talking about. B-roll just takes away from the fact that people are just looking and staring at you yakking away. Okay, that's all it does. And it's that simple to do B-roll. Now I'm going to show you how to do slow motion. So this is standard speed, so I'm going to go ahead and back it up. Make sure it's still standard. Yep, I'm going to click cut. We're going to play it a little bit longer. Stop. I'm going to cut it here. Now, to create slow motion on this area, all I want to do is highlight this area. Then I want to right click and go down to the bottom where it says change clip speed. Here's where you can change the speed of the clip, and this is where you make slow motion, or if you want to speed it up. So to create slow motion, of course we make this slower. Now if I wanted to make it fast motion, I would go to like 150 or 200 or even faster. Slow motion, I'm gonna slow this down by half. So to slow it down by half, I would, instead of this being 100, I would make this 50. So I don't want it to sound really weird, so I'm going to go ahead and uncheck the keep audio pitch unchanged. Okay, click set. Notice how that got bigger. Now I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Now that's the slow motion. Okay. Alright, okay, so I showed you how to add in B-roll, I showed you how to slow the video down, and I showed you how to cut areas out that you don't want in your video. Again, this is a very, very simple editing tool to use, and I do very highly recommend it. I wouldn't have purchased it if I didn't like it. Again, transitions are very easy to do. Remember, if I wanted a transition right where I had that cut, click on that, and then choose from all the transitions they have. Just a little word of advice, less transitions are better, okay? Okay, I showed you how to do slow motion. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to add music to this. So I'm going to grab some audio files, and you can go to YouTube, and they have free audio downloads for YouTube creators that you can download for nothing. They're free to use. So I have everything under desktop, video clips for all videos, and then music. And Dan Leibowitz, I love his stuff, so I just grab all of it and drag it over into that window where you keep everything at. I'm going to go ahead and X this out again. Let's say I want to have some music in this area, okay, right in here. So what I would do is I would grab a song. So I'm going to throw this song in. So again, just like videos or anything else, you just click on it, drag it all the way to the bottom. This is where your music would go, and I'm just going to plop it in there somewhere. Now that's going to play over everything else, so you're going to want to change your volume. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to change the volume. I'm just going to drop it down to about we'll go to 15. Click OK. Now it'll sound a lot better. Yeah, see, that's much better. So, okay, I showed you guys how to do transitions, how to cut stuff out that you don't want, and how to add music and B-roll. Pictures, images. Okay, let's say I wanted to add, say I had pictures of the school or pictures of people who worked in the school, and I kind of wanted you guys to see those individuals. You would go to where you dropped in your pictures, and just it's so easy. Just grab the picture you want, drag it where you want it, drop it in. Now those pictures by default I think they're 4 seconds long, and you can change that. It's very simple. What I'm going to do is scroll again to expand this, and if I wanted to lengthen that picture so it stayed up longer, I just drag this out. Click and drag. I just lengthened out that picture. If I want that picture shorter, again, just drag it to as short or as long as you want it. Now, this is a preview of what it's going to look like right up here. So I'm going to go ahead and click back, and we're going to play it now. See? Let's say you wanted to put words into your video. We're going to put some words here. It's very simple to do. You want to remember that no matter what you click on up here, it is going to affect right where your timeline's at. So you always want to put this where you want to start at. Highlight the area you want to work on. Then up here, you're going to find video effects, audio effects, text effects. Now we're going to throw text effects in. Now I'm still learning this, okay? So I only use simple text, and I basically work with this top line right here. Now you can put a scrolling text in if you want, And I usually like it to come from the left side or from the right side of the screen and roll across to the left. So we could do that. So let's click on that. You can choose the color of your text here. Just highlight the color or the text, then click on the color and choose what you want. Let's go with a dark red. Click OK. And I also like to put a border on it, so where it says shadow, I'm going to click on that, and here is the color, and I like to keep it black, so I'm just going to click OK. I'm going to go backspace this, and let's say we're going to call this test audio example. And I want to make it a little, if I want to make this bigger, remember you highlight it and go up to your font size. Right now it's at 17. You can make it really big if you wanted. Like that. We'll go to 25. Now when we play it.
Now, because they didn't fill this in properly.
Now, if the text is going by too fast and you can't read it, that's a very simple thing to fix. All you do is go to your text, grab it, and stretch it out. Okay? By stretching it out, it makes it larger and just makes it just goes slower. So
because they didn't fill this.
There you go. Now see how much now people can actually read it. All right, let's say I wanted to make that a block text. So we're going to delete this. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to highlight it again. Remember, you want to highlight any area that you want to add anything to it. I'm going to go back up to text effect. This time I'm just going to go with a simple text. I want a shadow. I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to change this size because 25 is pretty big. We're going to drop it back down to about 12. Okay, we're going to say 12. And it shows you a little preview of how big the text is going to be and what it looks like right up here. So we're going to say again, whoops. This is just a test. And what this allows you to do, oops, I didn't spell that right. Now what this allows you to do is it allows you to, like, say you're typing a bunch of words, and guys, I can't type fast, but notice your preview up here. Now notice how it ran off the screen. Well, you don't want that. So you can either make it smaller so it fits, or let's go, I'm just, okay, and now notice we've already reached to the very end. We could go maybe a letter or two more. We could make it smaller, or just hit the enter key, just like you were typing on a typewriter, and it starts a new line. And if that was the end of it, of your text, and say you wanted that to be centered underneath that, we'll just click over to the far left and then just hit your space bar, your space key. Center it up. Right about there. I want to center the top line up just a little bit. Bottom one a little bit more. That's about right. So I'm going to X out of that now. Now I'm going to let you see what that looks like. So now you have an area that you can just read right on the screen. Again, if you want it longer, grab it, stretch it out. Because if you have like a paragraph, you want it long enough time frame that they can actually read it. And that will just stretch it out. And that gives you enough time to actually read it. So, okay, so that takes care of that. Okay, one other thing, and then we're gonna call it quits on the editing. Let's say cut. We're just going to take this area right here, cut. Let's say in this area you don't like the way the video looks, and you want to like change the lighting, maybe the color, whatever. So what we do is we highlight this area, we go up to video effects, and we have all kinds of things we can do. So, I mean, that's about it. I mean, you could do anything to this you wanted. Again, I mean, it's all in your imagination on what you want to do. You could change the exposure if you wanted, your color adjustments. You could add auto levels if you wanted. Let me add auto level to that. So now the auto color level is added, and we can see that by here is unfiltered, so it's not, you can't see any corrections. And when I scroll over to the line where it's at, notice the change in color. So that's what it thinks it should look like, which is actually pretty good. I use this feature a lot. So we're going to go ahead and cut it there. I've showed you quite a few things in here. Just remember, if you guys have any questions on how to use this, just get a hold of me. If you have anything specific you would like to see, let me know, and maybe I'll make a video on it. Well, everybody, that's it for this video. I hope you got something out of it, and I do appreciate you sticking around and watching it. I do have to say that out of all the video editors that I've used so far, I like this one the best. Again, just with the features it has and how simple it is to get to them is one of the reasons that I went ahead and purchased it and am using it now. Now, I do not like the fact that you have to purchase it every year if you want to stay up to date. I think that's a little bit bogus, but it is what it is. I really don't need to update mine, and I learned not to hit that update button. That way I don't get screwed into having to purchase it again. I'm sure I didn't have to. I could have worked around that, but you know, I didn't want to go through the hassle, and I just said to hell with it, and I went ahead and updated, and I paid for the new version of it. But I'm not going to make that mistake again, not unless they make some really drastic changes that I really like. But I hope you guys got something out of this video, and I hope if you decide to use VideoPad Video Editor for your editing software, that this video makes it a little bit easier for you guys to do. And I hope you guys got something out of it, and I hope that the video that I did and the demonstrations I showed you helps you out in using this software. I want to thank everybody out there that has subscribed to me for as long as you have. From the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it. And for those of you that are new, I want to thank you as well. Each and every one of you that subscribe to this channel really helps me out a lot. So that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.